Sujata Debnath, would like to thank IAP and Mobility India for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my experience of more than 40 years on this assistive devices. So I basically am an occupational therapist who's no more practicing. As you can see, I have almost used um, HK4, elbow crutches, wheelchair for more than 15 to 20 years in different span life, of my life. What I felt is my parents, being from medical fraternity, uh, like proper diagnosis of a condition where people are afflicted with this kind of disability is very important. I was lucky enough that I was properly diagnosed at an early stage, and as my parents were doctor, they took me to proper place for treatment in Vellore and got me treated over there. That was an early intervention in my treatment, and there, we have the best of uh, team to do the proper assessment and give you the right direction, right treatment in which you can proceed further in your life. My parents' sole motive was to give me proper treatment and uh, give me a proper life where at a point when they are no more there, I will be able to live a confident and happy life alone. So here is a things like all the type of um, assistive devices I have used, like K4, HK4, spinal braces, gaiters, knee orthosis, elbow crutches, HKFO, and after that, finally, my wheelchair. So this is how, with a different span of time, I started with as my age grew, I was afflicted with different problems like leg length shortening, and then I had this spinal issue, scoliosis developed. I had this hyperextension of my knees on the other leg. All this led to addition of this kind of assistive devices, and I was lucky enough that at right time, at right point of time, all these things were introduced into my life, because of which I could live a better life. My observation on this assistive technology, what I saw as a child growing up to this stage, that it improves the quality of life of a PWD to a great extent. And that, in fact, is because the level of independence increases. We are no more dependent on our family members, on our colleagues, on anyone outside for living an independent life. And that gives a boost of confidence in you. And that using of this assistive devices, this leaves you with more of energy throughout the day. I think, like, I've seen my many people um, crawling on the floor and going to certain place, and I moving on a wheelchair to the same place. The amount of energy that is consumed in moving from one place to another is much better when you are using an assistive device. So this gives us definitely a better output in life. With the help of my mobility aid, I was able to complete my schooling. I was able to complete my college as an occupational therapist. I graduated from NILD, formerly known as NIH Calcutta, which I always actually wanted to be into this field because I wanted to work for people like me, and I wanted to bring some difference in some people's life. If I could add value to some people's life, that would have been a big satisfaction in my life. With that thought, I worked as a basic development therapist in Delhi, which unfortunately I couldn't continue further. I had to uh, leave this profession, which was in fact my passion, in 1999. Motherhood, in fact, changed my life. In 1998, my son was born. And at that point of time, my mother also expired. So it was a very bad time when I did not get proper attention. I knew being an occupational therapist that motherhood will affect me, and I needed proper attention at that point of time, which I did not, due to which I developed osteoporosis. I fell down thrice with my elbow crutches, I broke my pelvic bone, and gradually my condition definitely deteriorated, and I got bedridden. At that point of time, my two wonderful, ever caring college friends, Ritu and Shoikat, who were working with Mobility India, came back into my life again with a big bang. They, for the first time, made me realize that there is a life beyond this confinement of bed, beyond this confinement in a room. I have a life outside. So Mobility India was kind enough to send me a wheelchair and a commode chair. Just imagine when I was there using a wheelchair, I was bedridden, I was not able to use a wheelchair, I was dependent on my ADL activities on others. How humiliating, how low esteem you feel, and you feel that life has come to an end. Maybe there's nothing left in my life. But Mobility India sending me this wheelchair and commode chair, like it felt it was a boon in my life. So since then, uh, they were kind enough to donate me four wheelchairs, which made me mobile, and I was able to see the life outside and live an independent life. For this, I can never ever thank enough to Mobility India for extending all the possible help, guidance to change my life and give me a life which I am leading at this moment. I feel, when you can't control what's happening, we have to challenge ourselves to control the way we respond to what is happening. That is where our power is. Our mind is very powerful. Once, when I sat on the wheelchair, started using the commode, it, my mind started saying, yes, I can do it. I can live a better life. I can sit, I can go out. I went outside, I saw the sky, and it gave immense of hope in me. So with this manual wheelchair, I started being mobile. I started going outside. I started interacting with people. I I felt that I was becoming more and more independent, more and more confident, because I feel because of this manual wheelchair, I could gather the confidence of moving from one state to another state in Delhi. And with my 6-year-old son, being a single mother, I wanted to raise up my son alone. So, in that way, I could gather that courage only because of this assistive device and my education, which my father always stressed on to live an independent life. Because that point of time, both my parents were not there. I moved to Delhi, and here I started working in one of the leading luxury five-star hotels in Delhi. And while working, I started using this motorized wheelchair in 2012. So this wheelchair, I think, gives lot of independence. It increases, in fact, using I used like manual wheelchair till now. I am using manual wheelchair, but this gives a different kind of independence to a person. I used to travel, commute from home to office in auto. Uh, Even I went in different. I went with wheelchair also sometimes because my house is nearby. So this motorized wheelchair gave me the confidence of traveling alone in Delhi metro. I cannot think traveling in a metro alone But this wheelchair gave me that independence of traveling, that confidence in traveling with in Delhi Metro alone. I was able to travel, and that low floor buses that were introduced in Delhi with this motorized wheelchair. So I use it in office also, because carrying files from one place to another file, or going to from one place to another place, uh, it is very easy with it needs very less energy to commute over there, and that gives you a boost of confidence, a different kind of boost of confidence. But life was going on very well till then. Suddenly my life changed again. In 2019, I was diagnosed with cancer. And as you are all allied health professionals, you are well aware about how what it impacts when a portion of your muscle is removed from your body, how it affects. So in my case, I was treated in one of the leading hospitals in Delhi. So as like Ms. Vanilla also say that the course of training wheelchair users are being introduced in MBBS courses. I feel it's a great idea, because I felt that point of time that the type of treatment protocol they make for normal persons and for us is different. A normal person, after a mastectomy, they can think of going back to work within 7 to 15 days after removal of stitches. But in my case, it was not so. Being an occupational therapist, I was not able to convince the doctor uh, alone that I will be taking more time. It was very difficult for me to convince them. And with the help of the physiotherapist over there, who could understand my problem, because they were experienced in this field, so they could understand my problem and convince the doctor. We together managed to convince the doctor that I'll be requiring more time and healing this thing and coming back to normal life. So it took almost a month, more than a month, for me to recover and come back to normal life again. Commuting on with assistive devices on Indian roads, you can see it is very difficult, because roads conditions of roads are so bad. I almost broke two wheelchairs on this road, which you are seeing, because we have to sometimes go outside for shopping, for going to some place. Always you cannot travel on autos and cars and everything. We have to walk with our HK4s in this kind of road, and it is very difficult. So we need more sturdy assistive devices to go through this kind of roads. So here, after this comes the COVID-19 pandemic condition, uh, which we never thought will ever come into our life, but unfortunately or fortunately, it has come. So, in this condition, what happened when the lockdown was announced? We were told to work from home, and working from home, the condition is never the same as that in office, where we get a comfortable chair, table to work, and a comfortable working condition where you are available with everything. You have a proper hand rest, you have proper monitor in front of you working. We do not have that in home. Sometimes I sit on the bed, sometimes on the floor, sometimes I use a table. Wherever I get space, I start working. And the long working hours also becomes very long, because there's no time. There's no limitation. जब जिसका मर्जी हुआ कॉल कर लिया, ये काम कर दो, वो कर दो, that kind of thing happens, and you cannot say no, because in my department I only had a laptop to work with. So this led to a bad ergonomics, which led finally to severe back pain. And I was almost again bedridden. That point of time, I was searching for, I tried to contact many known centers which were there in Delhi and nearby NCR, so that they can help me out in some way, because at that point of time, I couldn't think of anyone else from anywhere helping me. no one was there to help me with my condition. I was seeing my condition getting aggravated, but there was nobody who could help me out with this. I was day by day getting bedridden. My pain was increases. I was in a miserable condition. I was feeling that my life will finish and maybe I won't be able to continue with my job in future. I will have to resign or I have to leave because in this condition, how can I work when I cannot sit for few seconds? Like even I was not able to sit for 10 seconds. Turning on one side was also becoming so difficult due to severe back pain, pelvic tilt, and all the other associated problems that I had. So that point of time, I approached Ritu. I discussed with her and Shoikat about this, and they, along with MI team, immediately they arranged for an online assessment, which Mr. Raju has already briefed you. So I think I won't much talk on this, but I feel that that online assessment was a blessing in my life, which came because, when we are going through pain and you get such kind of person who are guiding you in a proper way, how you can reduce your pain, how can you stretch your body, how like I forgot being an occupational therapist so long back. I forgot that this can be implemented into my life. They realized me all these things through this online assessment that put cushions in this manner, sit in this manner, stretch your body in this manner, and put cushions and all these things they were explaining me. So I felt, listening to the experts speaking matters a lot. There's abundance of possibilities and solutions which it skips from our mind. I was lucky enough to get a parent who supported me so much. I was lucky to have friends around me who guided me in a proper way. I was having the treatment throughout from a leading orthopedic workshop at Calcutta who guided me with proper assistive devices at all point of time. Because as Ritu said rightly, that more age we with more age we have more problems, and with that more products, assistive devices are added into our life. So here we realize that this possibilities are abundant. We just have to explore it, which Mobility India team did with me. They explained me all the possibility chairs that are available with them from which I can choose, which I can use, which it can help me, what has what extra things which can help me in what way. They explain me in such a nice manner so that I can choose the wheelchair out from that three, four samples that were kept over there. So it was very easy to um, pick up. So it's not only about that. See, I was uh, I was going through this pain in June. I was in extreme pain. On July 2nd, they dispatched me a spinal brace because that was very important for me at that point of time because I was having severe pain. So that reached me within 3 days. And in COVID-19 situation, getting things from other states it is so difficult. In spite of that, they arranged they arranged this wheelchair for me from they worked out with some partner organization from Visakhapatnam, and they arranged the wheelchair for me, and they it was delivered to me so fast. And in spite of this situation, lockdown situation, and everything, not only that, after that, everything was explained to me in such a good way that with practical demonstration, Mr. Shoikat and Mr. Sam Maraju, they both of them they explained me everything in so practical ways that it was so easy for me to understand and implement in my wheelchair. And they have given me so many options: put the cushion like this, put the cushion like that, and see in whichever condition you are comfortable, click pictures, send us everything. All things were discussed and demonstrated, and you can see with this practical demonstration I was able to use my wheelchair, which was customized as per my need, as per my I had leg length shortening, the footrest was adjusted accordingly. I wanted a steady chair. I wanted a steady back. I wanted a steady lower side, which always I had to put a ply on my wheelchair to put that. Everything was so properly customized and sent to me that ultimately what happens that I feel that quality assessment matters a lot, and proper guidance while using, it's not only using a wheelchair, it's proper guidance how to use a wheelchair and how to put minimum of your energy and propel it in a better way, and how you can stretch your body even if sitting on a wheelchair in a proper way, how you can stand up in a proper way, how you can so my properly assessed wheelchair gave me a it was very comfortable. It relieved my pain. It gave me a better posture. You can see here, and you can compare my previous pictures. Here, the compatibility, and this I went outside. I rode on the road, and it was so comfortable on the road. It was so comfortable for outdoors. The roads I were able to manage so easily. It was so sturdy. See, this is the benefit of using assist wheelchair. My back was straight. I was feeling so, means I cannot explain how good I was feeling sitting on this wheelchair, and how my condition I felt is feeling better. You can see in my next slide the condition before 1 month. Just 1 month I have used this wheelchair, and see the condition of my back before and after. So you can guess how much relief it has given me, how much like I'm feeling so comfortable with this wheelchair. It has given, in fact, added a value in my life. Here, see, we do not want to talk about statistics because Ritu, Vanilla Ma'am, all they have talked about statistics. And because statistics are, after all, depressing, you know. We all heard about the problems and we all know about the problems. I just want you to imagine, see, you change one thought, you give one PWD or quality of life, and once you change one life, you change the whole family's life. Because we are considered, you know, PWDs are considered as burden in the family. So you make such a lot of difference in their life. And I believe this world will definitely change once you start nurturing life beyond. Because we PWDs, we are nothing without you. You are experts in this field, and your nurturing can lead us to fly like a bird in our life and give so much meaning into my life. Thank you so much, IIP and Mobility India, for giving this wonderful platform to share my thoughts. Thank you once again.